welcome you all to TechnoBiz Business Talk. This is one of the events organized by TechnoBiz, which we invite, host business leaders in industries and discuss about various issues about how the business is managed, what kind of things happening in that respective industry. Today, our invited guest is Mr. Yoon. Is the general manager of the Saiko Rubber Malaysia. And also he is also vice president of the Malaysian Rubber Products Manufacturers Association, MRPMA, and also he's a chairman of the Malaysian Rubber Expo IRIC 2025. So he has many titles, and he has well experienced in the rubber industry with he's kind of long veteran in the rubber industry from Malaysia. So a lot can be learned from this conversation. I'm really happy to have Mr. Low as a part of this session today. Mr. Low, thank you very much for being part of this session today.
Thank you, Mr. Param, for inviting for this session. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi there. So the way we this conversation happens is more of informal, but at the same time we discuss about various aspects of the rubber industry and your business. Yeah. Before we jump into the in-depth conversation, let's get into your journey into the rubber industry, Mr. Low. When did you start? So how is all it started? Once they say once the rubber sticks to you, and you cannot get out of the rubber industry, right? So
yes, that's right. So actually, I'm not in the rubber industry. My initial job was with the Japanese company in I think you will know TDK. Yeah. So I was there like in the late 90s. Then I moved on to join the rubber industry. So back then, I joined this company, Saiko, in year 2000. That time, our group chairman is also Mr. Low, same surname, but no business, no relationship. This is just purely what we call employer and employee. So from there, I learned a lot because this is completely different from the electronic industry. So rubber basically is a very unique, as we know, just how you mentioned. So it goes in, you can never get out. So along the journey, you will start to like the rubber industry because it's very unique. Of course, it comes with a lot of challenges. We also went through the what we call subprime mortgage crisis in year 2007, 2008, and now we have another crisis incoming. We call it most likely it could be Trump session. We don't know yet. Yeah. So it's pretty much a very long journey, but also I get to meet a lot of interesting people, and then so we get to know more about the technology behind rubber. So this is every day you see is evolving. Unfortunately, the young generation don't see it that way. It is a lot more interesting than other industries.
Yeah.
So Saiko rubber, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's talk more about the Saiko rubber. I think so. It's almost 25 years now. You started in 2000. That you joined in Saiko rubber, yeah. And it's 25 years. So talk about for the benefit of everybody to understand the business profile and how's market you're serving and how the situation with the in the Saiko rubber business now.
Yeah, actually Saiko rubber Malaysia established in 1990. Back then it's a joint venture company, so between the Japanese and Sunwick. Then in recent year, in April 2021, which is 4 years ago, so the Kato Sancho bought the remaining share of 51%. Back then, I was the representing the Sunwick side as a director. So Kato Sancho enlisted me for the help to manage this company. So I resigned as the director over the side and joined completely at Saiko rubber as a director here. So we are mostly doing compounding. We don't do any molding here. So basically, we do specialty rubber compounding, mostly on using synthetic polymers, EPDM, CR, SPR, NBR, those cold resistance rubber compound as well as color compound. We recently invested in a new production line, which is doing the FKM and other specialty rubber. So this is a enclosed production line because you cannot have any contamination in the production line. So also we have another factory in China, which is in Pinghu. Our HQ is in Tokyo. We have a mixing plant in Kuriyashi, while our holding company is Kato Sancho is mainly doing trading in mostly rubber material as well as the plastic rubber materials.
And so if you look at a Malaysian plant, Saiko Rubber based in Malaysia, you're basically serving the local market. You also do export to the other countries.
Oh, because of the limitation of rubber compound, we have very limited market overseas. So it is less than 15% export, 85% domestic. So this is only very limited to Asia region due to the shelf life of compound. That's the setback.
So here, let me understand this. So altogether, there is 3 factories: one in Japan, one in Malaysia, one is in China. But the original parent is so they are in trading of the raw materials and into the customer. So basically, how is business of the custom mixing business in Malaysia? You call it compounder. It's basically custom. You call it custom mixer. Yeah, right.
Yes, correct. Custom mixing. It is a bit tough because, as you know, Malaysia we do not have a lot of big players. Those big players like foreign companies, most of the rubber companies is so moving out. The recent news, Continental, I believe you have read, Continental also is closing down in Malaysia. But of course, we do not do tire compound. But you can see the rubber landscape in Malaysia is not that encouraging. Of course, we are asking the ministry and the relevant rubber agency to pull in investor to Malaysia. The Trump tariff, we might see an influx of China rubber companies into Malaysia, but then again, it could be a double-edged sword, as we all know. Some of they come in. If they come in, they invest and they bring every single material from China, then it will be a very bad scenario here, because they have a lot of advantage, because China company, when they come in, usually they are the big ones, while the local one, the SMEs are the smaller one. There's no way they can compete with them. That's quite a tough situation. I believe Thailand also having the same situation right now.
Well, you want a foreign direct investment. At the same time, it also comes with issues that deal with the local competition. Okay, so that's nature of the business. I think every country, whether it is China or any other foreign investor come to the country, so you have to compete with the local players as well. So.
Yes.
And you are into the what kind of company? Mostly in the automotive segment, or serving to which segment of it?
Back then we have about 30 to 40% in automotive industry. Then we branch up to other industry, especially engineering and construction, as well as these what we call farming. What we call farming industry. They use all the machinery, they use the hoses, things like that. So basically, right now, the major ones are mostly engineering parts, machinery and engineering part. Automotive, it has gone down drastically because of the years ago when production sold to Geely. So a lot of these local suppliers also have issue. Even some of them also closed down. So automotive industry now is like about 10%, not that many. Malaysia generally is not a very conducive market for automotive, because most of the automotive manufacturers in Malaysia, they import directly, especially from China, as you are aware. So it's a bit tough, I would say.
So for you, engineering industry is a major chunk of the business for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are there a lot of players of doing a similar business like Saiko Rubber in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, not that many, because in Malaysia, you see the problem is that a lot of these companies, the molding companies, are very small, so
Yeah.
they don't buy in what we call huge quantity. You see, some of them even like they are always like 60 kg per delivery, 120 kg per delivery, and then they ask you to deliver like 2-3 times a week, which is which is not viable for big compounding companies. Yeah,
Yeah.
unlike those what we call like tire companies, a month they can consume like 2,000 tons, 3,000 tons. In Malaysia, basically no. So the SME usually they buy in very small quantity. That is why you see a lot of small factories in Malaysia. You don't see large one. It's not that many. Yeah. So this is quite what we call challenging over the years, because as you know, all these small companies is basically family-run business, or those already even the sole proprietor already aging, they're already getting old. So that when there's no one to take over, then there's a problem. So one by one start to close down. So the market size keep on shrinking. So that will be an issue, I think. Yeah, unless someone take over, or unless we get more foreign molding companies to come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's a sad part of the family business nowadays. Yeah, so particularly some of the
Yes.
companies they have serious problems. Yeah, so and it's not like a rubber industry is not like IT industry. So we have a challenge
Yes.
to. I think we
Yeah.
have to work on that, make it more interesting, more exciting for the younger generation. So otherwise, it's a tough times ahead for us. So yeah.
Yes. Even like you talk about technical personnel, you want to get some new generation to be a technical expert in rubber industry. It's not easy.
Yeah.
They prefer to be IT. IT is what we call the glamour industry. Rubber is the dirty industry. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
issue. So perhaps we have to think a way to rebrand or reimage our industry to attract the
Yeah.
new generation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And in many of the Asian countries, they are moving to outsourcing the compound, just like buying, because due to the regulations and pollution side, and also
Yes.
custom mixing. You need when you have any non-tire products, you have many materials. Keeping them, stocking them, and preparing the compound, and it also needs expertise to develop a formulation.
Yes.
It's always better to buy the outsource from the custom mixers like you, instead of making our own, your own compound, and you trouble with the quality, you trouble with getting your materials get stocked, and of course the supply chain is an issue, and cash flow issues. You lot of problems there involved with making your own compound, instead of buying from the custom mixers like you. Is it something people thinking in the direction in Malaysia? Don't make our own
Oh,
compound, buy from the custom mixers like you. So
how I wish everyone, every company, molding company behave like that, think like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunately, no, not many of there are few of them that prefer to do their own. But as regulations start to tightening up, now you have what we call tightening of environmental issue. Like us
Mm,
for compounder also, we have to what we call adhere to a lot of regulation. You need to have certified personnel in your
mm,
factory to check all the relevant data and control the emission. So this comes as a cost. This all
mm,
comes with a cost. So in fact, you have to get two person, one safety officer, and one I believe is to check on the what we call on the dust collector. It has to be certified. So a lot of these what we call molding companies in Malaysia, they are not aware of this regulation. Perhaps one day when the authority comes knocking, then only they are aware of such regulation. So in order to comply to this regulation, you need to send the staff, you need to have a certain what we call facility or investment in the machine in order to comply to such regulation. So it all comes with a cost, as you mentioned. So this is, of course, it might be if I say it's best for molding company to buy, to do their own compound, to buy from us, it's like hard selling. But in actual fact, from what you see in Taiwan has such a what we call mindset. The molding company actually, they don't do their own compounding. They say, why should I have another headache of managing the compounding line while I can fully focus on my product quality and my product efficiency? I think this is the correct mindset, which is very good, because that company job is solely to make rubber products. It's not that to take care of rubber compound and then to do a formation and do all the tests and then do rubber molding products. So it takes up a lot of time, and then you are not too focused. So which is why I think Taiwan rubber product has a really good advantage among other competitors in the region. They are very focused. They do molding, this is only molding, nothing else. Yeah, I think,
okay.
Yeah, this is a very good.
Yeah, we talk about Taiwan things later on, because that is one of the special issue that I want to address, because you visited that quite few companies there, so we need to learn about Taiwan thing. Yeah, we can just get to little more about custom mixing industry. Are there a lot of people import from to Malaysia, custom mix compounds?
Custom mixing compound, mostly in Malaysia, we already have a few rubber compounders. We have about 4 to 5 here, and then you have those companies that are doing their own custom mixing. Import not that many, but usually it's from the North Malaysia side. They will import directly from Thailand. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then mostly from Thailand. Yes. But apart from that, not many being imported. But with the influx of China rubber molding company, I think in few months time, maybe perhaps you will see a lot of rubber custom compound coming into Malaysia. Yeah.
So how many investors came from Malaysia, from China?
Not sure yet, because we are seeing a lot of these China companies. In Malaysia currently, we have already a few already in here operating. Machinery from China, all the material from China. And then now we have another few bigger companies. They're looking around, especially in northern area. So I think with Trump, because as we all know, Trump will still have another 45 months. So 45 months is a long period. So I guess maybe some of these China companies will come in. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I hope that all goes well for the Malaysian custom mixing side. So yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, so let's talk about Malaysia. Let's talk about Malaysian economy first. How is Malaysian economy doing now?
Malaysian economy basically, back then, the forecast was the GDP for this year is 5%, until the Trump tariff now is being revised to 4.4. So it is not rosy, but of course, at least it's only we see a slight drop of 0.6% in GDP. We think that right now also you see there's a sudden quieting down of the manufacturing. I think everyone is trying to adopt a wait and see approach, because now Trump is on hold the tariff for 90 days. So we do not know what comes next, because as we all know, Trump today A, tomorrow B, next day could be C. So this is very uncertain. So hopefully there will be a stabilization of tariff, so that it will be very clear moving forward, so that we know subsequent, like third quarter or fourth quarter, how it will be. But definitely it will be a very challenging year. Yeah, because we can already see there's a slowdown in China. In fact, yesterday news also in China port, they're seeing a drastic slowdown in container loads or at the port. So definitely there's an impact. But how bad it will be the impact for Malaysia, we do not know yet. So hopefully it's not too bad. Yeah.
I think we need to wait and see how things evolve, because
yes.
I think his decision making is keep changing. Okay, so yeah.
Yes. Also, there's too many what we call uncertainty by his decision. So this is bad for the industry, I would say. Yeah. Even like the recent in the recent week, we are seeing a drastic drop in carbon black prices. Yeah. Because simply there's no demand.
But how is overall performance of the Malaysian rubber industry? We divide into the, of course, I think tire. I think tire is very limited, and I think more into the retreading industry, right? In Malaysia,
Yes.
and in terms of the tire and non-tire engineering and automotive parts, products, and also the latex side. How they are doing in Malaysia right now, and what kind of expectation future therefore other than Trump factor, because that is uncertain, not in our control anyway.
Yes.
So how you guys are thinking about overall performance and the future of the rubber industry in Malaysia?
Oh, I see that a lot of these companies is trying to do more export sales now, because domestic you only have the market is this big. It is very difficult to grow the domestic market. Of course, some of them are trying aggressively to export their products overseas. For like talk about rubber retailing. Rubber retailing basically, over the years, many of these rubber retailing companies closed down due to the very cheap China tires, new tires. Some of them even changed their what we call focus from doing retailing to general industry rubber goods. So we are seeing a shift. Definitely, some of these manufacturers also adopting to the changes, because you need to survive somehow. So you have to make changes to your industry or to your production line or to your focus to another industry. What I think would be the ideal industry for now, it will be, I think, most likely will be engineering parts, building, electronic and electrical part, not that much. Automotive consistently will be quite tough. Even that we see some of these what we call companies, they are going to do what we call a steady assembly line in Malaysia. But the issue is that most of these parts are being imported almost in complete set. So that doesn't help a lot for the rubber industry. Even like the rubber, what we call rubber windscreen run channel. It used to be EBDM. Now a lot of time they will change to TPE. Yeah. So we are seeing some shift in this. So I think basically for the rubber industry, rubber moving industry, they should go for niche market, which is the higher end rubber products. But of course, that will involve some investment in machinery, as well as investment in what we call in the we don't call it like regulation, but it's some sort of like self what we call certificate, like your ESG. Because now if you want to do European companies, especially European, American company also have to a certain extent, that will require this company to have ESG initiative. You don't need to have certification for now, but at least you must show that you have some initiative in ESG. So say if a big company comes to Malaysia to do sourcing, say from a rubber molding company A, the first thing usually they will ask that, do you have ESG initiative? The moment you say no, they're straight out of the window. They'll go for another. Yeah, it's like that. Or if you say you have, then you need to prove training attendant, whatever initiative you have done, things like that. So in order to capture this big, what we call overseas market, there is no way that you can escape this. So ESG will be what we call the golden word for years to come. Yeah. So even like Japan also same. So of course, definitely sustainability is a good thing, but to do all this, it comes with a cost. Definitely, it comes with a cost. Just like EUDR, EUDR also it comes with a cost. You want a natural rubber which is EUDR compliant? Yes, there are, but it comes with a premium, slightly more expensive. ESG, the cost will be first to the what we call the manufacturer. You need to invest in your human, that means your staff, and then you need to invest in your system. So this is what we call unavoidable if you want to capture the overseas market. Back then, you don't have all this. Back then, it's very simple, straightforward. See your product, price is good, quality is okay, you can start selling. Now, no more. Now it's not about environment, sustainability, and governance. So there are a lot of what we call all this that require a lot of human resource development. So in small company, you need to invest in their staff in order to capture bigger market. But unfortunately, there are a few smaller companies which refuse to do so because they say, I sell my product, it's already this price so cheap, I still need to do ESG and so forth. So you give off my margin. And the day also is a small company, I don't have adequate manpower to do all this paperwork. Suddenly, this will be what we call the trend in years to come. You don't have this, they will not buy from you. It's very straightforward. Even I told some of my customer, you all need to look into this. You don't let your customer chase you. The time that you want to push it to move is very difficult. Since there's no pressure now, start to do ESG, get a professional to do the what we call training to a staff. It is not 1 day training. Even like Saiko Rubber, we did this is almost 5 days long training. Then it comes with a lot of assignment. Then the assessor to check and then to see whether our team is ready for ESG. And once it's ready, then we have to start what we call identifying which section that you want to do first. So it comes with a lot of paperwork. Yeah. Even like ISO 9001, the latest revision, they already start incorporating ESG into the ISO 9001. It's one of the costs they already start inserting in. So yeah. So I told my customer, you don't do ESG, ISO 9001, there will be one. So end of the day, you still need to do. So until to what extent only you need to do your ESG. So I think it's unavoidable. Yeah. So
But
you have to spend the money.
yeah, but we talk about the sustainability ESG from I think for last few years, and it is a buzzword. Circular economy, sustainability, ESG. For us SMEs, it's I always wonder how much they're really serious about sustainability. Because they have issues, so they have challenges, as a day-to-day management, cash flow issues, it's all for them is a big words. And when the big companies understands very well the benefits, and of course they can set a budget. It's good to know that in IS 9000 they integrating that ESG component so that it is automatically, because everybody who wants to sell products, you got to have quality certificate anyway. I think that's integrating is easier than you make it ESG a separate thing. It's better.
Right.
Right. So how do you for the SMEs, you are also the vice president of the Malaysian Rubber Products Manufacturers Association. There are quite a number of SMEs also there. What is your opinion about their mindset about sustainability?
Oh, there's a lot of resistance to sustainability, as you are aware. Because the moment they see sustainability is that money go out. They have to spend money. So this is not easy. Which is why also there are a lot of seminars provided by Malaysia Rubber Council. Most of the time it's a free seminar for them to be aware of this sustainability. So of course you don't have to what we call first step. You have to say to pump in a lot of money to do sustainability. But I told some of my customers, don't be so negative. Say sustainability like solar power, things like that. It is safe. in long term, it will save a lot of what we call energy cost in the factory. But at the same time, also you can what we call show to your customer you are reducing carbon footprint. It's one step. I say if you look at this, it's very positive. You spend money, the ROI maybe probably like 2 years, 3 years. Even the government giving grant for this solar energy initiative because it's a green energy. End of the day, I say you don't have to do all in one time because when they see sustainability ESG is like, whoa, very big word. Wow, I have to spend millions. No, actually no. You at least you show that to your customer, you are doing this initiative. How you want to reduce? Say during what we call rest time, you off all the lights, things like that. Then you use what we call on aircon. You use the inverter aircon to save energy. So from there you can chart before I do such an improvement and after what are the what we call the energy saving and the carbon footprint that's being reduced. Say you don't have to go for big initiative like I told public listed company. You can start one step at a time to show that you are doing it. I believe most of the customer will understand this. But rather than you do nothing is the worst case.
Yeah. I think that if you, my way of looking at this, if you wanted to really implement a sustainable practices, if you connect with the savings economics, you know, you do this one, you increase your profits, not you investing. You know, I think you rightly mentioned about the step by step or stage by stage. You know, that you inculcate that practices energy saving, and I think solar panels, they've become so efficient now, and it's also becomes cheaper, and your energy side, everybody has a huge roof. So many roofs are there, whether it's warehouse and whether it is an office. I think you can put and Asia, we have a hell of sunlight. Yeah, okay, of course we have rain.
Right, especially Malaysia and Thailand, it's super hot.
Right.
You get a lot of sunlight.
And I think Malaysia. Go on. Yeah.
In fact, one of my customers, they managed to reduce like 60% of their electricity bill after installing solar.
Wow.
60,000 bill become 20,000 bill. That's a lot of saving. Yeah.
I think this kind of stories to be publicized. I think because people always look at. I think particularly when you're talking about sustainable, implementing sustainable practices, we generally talk a generic way, but if you show in the numbers, if you, let's say you say your customer, saving so much money, if you can come forward in one of the forums of MRPMA, and talk about it, and it can inspire, yeah, okay, I invest this much, I'm saving this much, so he's not revealing any formulation or thing, but I think a good practices, right? I think the more awareness on the real successful stories, it kind of inspire the, it's everybody can do it, just like Malaysia and AirAsia say everybody can fly. I think everybody can implement, so sustainable, sustainable practices. Yeah. So, yeah, I think MRC is doing a good job on that, right? To educate and putting a lot of efforts on that. Yeah.
Yeah, MRC has been doing a very good job in giving a lot of seminars in sustainability. In fact, for safety, they have a lot of what we call program seminars throughout the whole year. I think which is very beneficial for the carbon industry. Yeah, they have been doing a very good job.
Yeah, I think you really touch the subject on safety. I want to get to the safety side. How are the practices in the Malaysian rubber industry about the safety? Are they take care of well in terms of safety practices?
Safety practices like that we see from most of the bigger SME, they actually implement these safety practices. But of course, for the smaller company, they also have a certain limitation, and what we call the awareness level of safety among the production worker sometimes probably not so much. Even the employer give them all the necessary equipment. Some of them they just refuse to wear, just like the earplugs, things like that. Sometimes they don't even put it. So this is we cannot fault the employer because employer provide everything. Sometimes the employee don't use it. Yeah. So of course in Malaysia, most of the time you have this DOS, Department of Safety and Health. They'll do what we call inspection. This is what we call a random inspection in the factory, so they will come without any notice and check. I think this is a very good what we call inspection, so that every company will comply with the safety. So safety is something that you don't compromise in the factory.
Yeah, definitely. I think you rightly mentioned one important point, which I also observed. Every employer wanted to provide in the best safety practices, with equipment and thing. It's a lot of time I observed that the workers and manpower, they don't feel comfortable to wear the mask. They don't comfortable with the earplugs, even the glass,
Yes.
goggles and the safety goggles and things. They say, yeah, it's not so comfortable, but you can't be watching every day and day in and day out unless you really, see it's why you are wearing for the sake of yourself. At the same time, don't forget you have a family behind you, that you look after
Right.
the family. I
Yes.
think employers have a good intention of providing all, but it's an employees, their uncomfortness by wearing that one, those that make the real cause. I think it's good to know that inspections make a huge difference as well, so that you really force, and
Yes.
it has to become like a habit, it's become like it's a
Correct.
practice, that a way of life, that's like you
Yes.
wear the helmet the moment you got into the motorbike, and
Correct.
whether there is a problem there or not, it has to be like that, then only that nobody get hurt, and unsafe practices there. Yeah. So, yeah. It's continuous awareness, continuous education, and at the same time continuous push on this matter. Safety is the first thing, every factory. Yeah,
Yes.
safety is the first.
Safety is
So
the utmost importance here.
right, yeah. Okay, let's talk about your Taiwan visit. This is one of my really wanted to explore this, your brain out of this session. You have, I think, MRPMA did excellent, have this business delegation to bring the members of MRPMA to visit various factories in Taiwan, and have a chance to see, because Taiwan probably one of the in Asia one of the countries that really have a high-end product, more efficient practices, yeah, in manufacturing side, technology wise, and also the good manufacturing practices. So talk about maybe some of the factories, if you can name them. If you cannot, and at least highlight their product line. What are the things that you observed that others can implement, utilize, that the lessons that you learn out of this. How many factories you visit? 6 or 7 factories, right?
7. Yeah.
Yeah, seven factories. So I think please do give some insights about good practices that we have observed, that we, not just Malaysia and any other country or any other manufacturers can think about, those practices to implement. Yeah.
Yeah, in this also we have to thanks to our president of MRPMA, Mr. Yao, due to his very strong connection with all these machine manufacturer as well as the rubber product manufacturer. So we are being given the opportunity to visit the factory, the production line, how they do the product, things like that. So I believe not many manufacturers or companies will allow visitor, especially a big delegation of mixture of various industry, to go into the production line to see
True.
how they do the products, things like that. But the most of these Taiwanese company are very what we call very welcoming to all of us to see how they produce it. They say, if today you come to my factory, you learn something new. So this is good for you, they say. So, say like the machine equipment manufacturer, Hanson, Caton, they will show you the state of the art, the machinery, the latest technology, the what we call the motor being used, post inverter time. Those can save a lot of electricity while maintaining efficiency of the molding. So you even see like back in the days, you have after you do any molding, the operator has to take out the molded product from the mold. Now no more. They have the auto pickup. then they pick up to the tray or bin. When the bin is full, the bin then have a auto sensor bin will straight away go to QC room. So here, the operator just need to make sure the rubber is being inserted into the feeder continuously without any interruption. And the one operator, most of the time they can what we call manage up to 8 machines. So in Malaysia you can't do that. In Malaysia you have one operator managing only 2 press. So you see in terms of what we call productivity is very high. Then use less manpower. So in terms of product cost, definitely they are lower. Even they have those what we call the extrusion. What we call extruder that you can pull out and you can see the screw to clean it and you insert back in like 5 seconds. Just swap. Even the die head of extruder, they even what we call demonstrated to us to change the die head is like less than 8 seconds. You take out this, then you swap in the new one and you just lock it. It's very fast. So to a lot of the what we call Malaysian delegation, what they are seeing is that a lot of these what we call countries like Taiwan, China, they already move far ahead from the conventional old molding machine, which is you have a lot of issue. Sometimes your heat element is the olden days heat element, you don't have a what we call very even temperature throughout the whole mold. Now even if any one of the heat elements you got problem, the whole PLC panel will show there's a fault. Then you just only have to change that particular heat element. So things like that in Taiwan, you can see that because of a lot of what we call competition, especially from China, they are forced to improve. So there are a lot of improvement being done. In fact, I've been there in year 2019, my Taiwan visit. So this is my second one. You can see a lot of these companies, they actually implemented a lot of improvement within these 6 years. You minus out 2 years for COVID. That means it's only less than 4 years. They did a lot of improvement. One particular company, they used to have 9 years ago, they had 400 over employee, labor intensive rubber molding. Now, 85. Automation. Yeah, they do automation. Most of the time they do automation, robotic. Now they are trying to explore AI. How can they further improve their production output and reduce the cost? So things like that you don't often see in Malaysia SME. You only can see in Taiwan. So like they are every day they're thinking, how can I improve my productivity? How can I improve this area and that area? So I think that is very good. In fact, for us to be there, we are able to see how they manage all this what we call competition. Even like when we in this what we call one of the biggest oil seal company in Taiwan, SO Giant Oil Seal. So they asked us, what do you think is our minimum order quantity for oil seals? We were talking like usually you have oil seal because so many sizes. Usually minimum order 100 pieces, 50 pieces. The boss said no. Even you order 1 piece or 2 pieces, I still sell to you. Said, huh?
Wow.
How could that? Yeah. How could that be possible? Then he mentioned to us, they have a lot of rubber seals in the factory. So in fact, they have like 65,000 or 68,000 of different types of seal. I was like, huh, that many. So can you imagine the investment in the mold when you have so many different types of oil seals? So second issue is that when you have so many products variety in your company, how do you manage it? How can you what we call when you get order? How can you pick the items and send it out so fast? Usually he says in less than 5 days you can ship out already, which is very impressive. Then he showed us the warehousing system. This is almost fully robotic. Scan barcode, robotic will go and pick the specific what we call carton or box out. Then they will take the oil seal, then send it back. We were then with the Malaysia what we call Car Parts Manufacturer Association as well. So one of the bosses was saying, oh, if I ask my guy to pick 59 items from the warehouse, morning he goes in, maybe evening he only comes out. Because just too many things to pick. So 3-story high of building to pick all these items. But of course we have to invest. One, because they have 3 robotic what we call lift to take the SR. Each is about $3 million, which is very substantial. So we have 3 is about $9 million. But they are prepared to invest because they say time is essence. And then you need to show that you are better than everyone else, which is why they have a lot of customers. 5 days, order to shipping. Nobody can beat them. Yeah. Say you give me one order, 8,000 over item, 8,000 over item with different quantity, they can pick it up within 1 week and send to you. Impressive. Which is you see how they adopt to this what we call business environment. They are adapting to the fast changing business environment. How to move fast, how to make sure your customer stays with you, because service is important. How to provide a very good service. You send to me, I make sure that 1 week I can send to you. Impressive, very impressive. Here probably half in Malaysia to follow their to understand. But of course, first you need to invest a lot of money into your whole company. Yeah.
Maybe
Very
need
impressive.
to
Some
yeah. Go on.
yeah. So in fact, like some there's one factory. He says even like evening time, I don't have any operator. It's okay. We call it dark factory. You can switch off all the light and the production still keep on running. Tomorrow come back, only you start do the trimming things like that. Almost zero manpower. Here cannot because we don't have that kind of machinery. Yeah.
And
Impressive.
they do have same they do have same issues like us also, right? You know, competing with China in terms of products and so.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Correct.
But
correct.
And they're profitable. Yeah, they're doing the profitable business.
Yes,
right?
profitable. Some of them is growing rapidly. One company in year 2019 he only had 3 factories. Now he has 5 big factories. It's all super huge factory. So they are expanding actually. Yeah. So you can see
Taiwan.
that.
Yeah,
Taiwanese company, fully owned by Taiwan.
Okay. And do they have? I mean, how many rubber factories in Taiwan? Product manufacturers.
Oh, a lot. Actually, they have a lot. Smaller one, bigger one. I think more than 200. They have a lot, but we only went to the bigger ones. Yeah. But of course, they also like you mentioned just now. They also face very steep competition from China. Yeah, China is making a run for them.
If you compare with the Taiwanese management mindset with our Southeast Asia, can you do comparison in terms of mindsets? Yeah.
Yes. This is I think we are not even half of that. Because their mindset is I make investment first, return later. Because their mindset is very what we call future thinking. Because they are thinking to survive in this industry for another 30 years, 50 years. They're looking at long term. So in order to survive in this environment, what shall they do now? What they need to invest now? This is all about now what they should do. You have this kind of technology. How can I use this technology to benefit my industry? Warehousing system, everything, whatever it is that can be automated, they will invest.
Wow. So it's a really worthwhile visit for you, eh?
Yes, very worthwhile visit.
Yeah. So are you have some?
As I just now mentioned, sorry.
Go on. Yeah.
Like just I mentioned earlier on in Taiwan, all the rubber molding industry they don't do their own compound. They buy from all these big Taiwanese rubber compounding. They say It's easy. I just do my modeling. Whatever what we call test report, things like that for the compound, I just have to call them and then they send to me. That's it. Job's done. I don't have to ask my guy to do it or recheck because we are not doing any compounding. We are only doing rubber products, just rubber products. So we focus on rubber products so that we can concentrate 100% on rubber product. I don't have to afraid that my formation have these businesses, things like that. I only have to tell the compounder what I want, and the requirement. That's it, and then they supply to us. And then full report, just like the Malaysia compounding, and you have all the reports, things like that. Just file it. See, it's very easy, very convenient. Yeah. And then you don't have to split your investment into your compounding section and your molding section. The whole investment is only solely in the molding.
And I think, and also the Taiwan, just like China, that they have a local technology provider, right? Advanced technology, machinery, yes, automation, yes, maybe I'm not sure about the chemical raw materials other than the synthetic rubber. I think there is a synthetic rubber there, but I think the machinery technology wise, there is a lot of local technology developers, because Taiwan is the number one of the key players of the machinery technology. Yeah, right. I think that is also one advantage, yeah, for them to utilize advanced technology. If you look at in our Southeast Asia, we pretty much import all the machinery. Yes. Yeah? So yeah, there is a huge differences there. We can't be totally, yeah, like them, but we have our own challenges because we don't have our own technology developers in particular in the machinery, right, side. That is huge investment, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they have the local industry there. They have their what we call advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that pretty much. So that's why they can invest in that automation aspects of it. So what are the things that you immediately plan to implement in your factory after you visit? Did you find this is a list of things I got to make some change in my business or something that you made a list?
Actually, we Saiko Rubber here, we already do a lot of what we call investment throughout the 2 years. We actually changed all our big rolls to a new one with what we call energy efficient new roll mills, and then also we changed some of the batch to the what we call better efficiency type. So the actual fact, in every year we will identify certain area or facility or equipment to improve, to change the new one, because now this is under the Kato Sacho group, so reinvestment in machinery is not an issue.
Yeah. So work in progress. Yeah, you keep investing as well in, yes, automation and also advanced. Yeah, keep investing. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, let's get into the. Well, it's nice. Thanks a lot sharing about that Taiwan visit. I think we all need to look up to those countries and factories as a benchmark so that we can improve in our line of practices. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about your project, IRIC. You are current chairman of the IRIC 2025 Malaysian Rubber Expo, Malaysian Rubber International Expo and Conference. Yeah, right. And so, yes, what's happening? What are the major highlights about the IRIC? Yeah, please.
Yeah. Well, now we already sold 95% of the booth, and then also we have been promoting this IRICE to across Asia, to Thailand, China, Taiwan, Japan. So in fact, the Malaysia Rubber Council is the co-host of this exhibition. They also has been promoting on their part to all the industry players, things like that. Whenever they go overseas, also they try to promote. They try to get buyers in. And for China and Taiwan, some of these associations, they intend to come over via delegation to visit the exhibition, as well as to know more about the Malaysia rubber industry. So basically, for this RIIC or IRISE, we actually trying to help the local SME in Malaysia for them to expand their what we call product to grow internationally. So which is why the MRC, this is the co-host, because MRC has been funding this IRISE As also we also get what we call an enrichment from all the relevant ministries for this iRise. So hopefully this year will be what we call will be much better compared to the year 2022. The year 2022 setback is that that time COVID, just after COVID, a lot of these countries, they are not able to travel abroad. So this time around, we hope the response will be much better. We will be seeing a lot of these what we call China companies coming in as exhibitor, Thailand company, Taiwan companies, Japan, as well as some foreign companies. So Malaysia, actually, we have never had a dry rubber exhibition for so long. We only have the IRGC, which is very well known. In fact, I was told that the next year IRGC already completely sold out months ago. So what we are trying to do is to try to bring up the Malaysian rubber, dry rubber sector to the international market. In fact, MRPMA, to do this, MRPMA is not thinking about making a profit out of it. The main objective, as I said earlier, is to help the local SME, because we believe the Malaysia rubber SME should grow internationally. So with this assistance, we hopefully more of these local SME will participate in the show, as well as we also extend a lot of our invitation to a lot of rubber associations throughout the whole world to come to Malaysia on 26th to 28th of August to visit the iRise exhibition. Mr. Param also will be there, isn't it?
Yes, of course, of course. I'm a strong supporter of the IRIC, iRise, So
yes,
because it's easy to travel to Malaysia, and Malaysia SMEs offer lots of interesting products, and so definitely it is like a Malaysian rubber day, or rubber week, So everybody should in August last week, everybody should visit Kuala Lumpur, and it will be held at the the KLCC, and Kuala Lumpur Convention Center. So easy to travel, easy to participate, no matter where you're from, So
yes, correct. In fact, also we also during the iRise also we have this MRPMA Rubber International Conference to be held consecutively with this exhibition. It's also at the KL Convention Center. So for those who is interested, they can always register. You can just register, because the registration for visitor already opened 2 days ago. Yeah.
So not only exhibition, but also you can participate in the conference as well. Good conference program is lined up with excellent speakers with a very insightful presentations were planned. So well, that's good, Mr. Loh. It's really wonderful to have a conversation with you, learn about the Saiko rubber, Malaysian economy, then Malaysian rubber industry. Then we got into Taiwan, and we talk about also sustainability, and also we talk about the iRise. But I have one more thing to ask you, man. This one is about your passion, supercars. Whenever I look at your Facebook, you always post about, even you went to Taiwan, I think you spent some time exploring the supercars, right? So talk about that. What got into the supercars? How many supercars you have, or what's your interest about it?
This is a childhood dream, I would say, Mr. Param. So back then, never thought of owning one because it is just too far-fetched. But now, happy enough to own. So this is because we are in Malaysia, there's a big community. Or most of my friends also they own supercars. So we go for weekend drive just to chill out, because we work Monday to Friday, is so much stress. So we go for a drive with friends just to have a cup of coffee for breakfast. So stress all gone. Sunday very happy. Monday come back, stress back again. So we go back Sunday drive again. So things like that. So the car communities in Malaysia is very friendly. They are very big group. Of course, there are many car groups in Malaysia. But as one of my friends said, live life to the fullest. Initially, I thought also buy this car, I say like all of people say not practical, you incur a lot of expenses. But childhood dream, just have to realize it. At least what we call kick the bucket list. The bucket list you already take one. So someday you go for a drive, you put down the roof, your morning breeze. It's very nice
Yeah.
actually.
Well, when you look at the pictures, man, wow, wonderful. That really nice, So I think for them, for many of them, is like a dream, right? Having a supercars and you're really enjoying it. I always see your pictures on the Facebook, So now, how many you got? One or two? How many cars you got?
Recently I sold one, left with one, but looking at buying another one.
Okay. And is it less tax in importing supercars? What is the tax structure?
No, Malaysia still is very expensive to buy because the duty is still very high. Yeah. So like my friend said, you just treat your supercar maintenance, because supercar usually the resale value is very good. You don't lose a lot of money compared to sedan. So you say you just treat the car depreciation of a sedan as your car maintenance for your supercar. That's it. So you will not be like thinking, oh, how much I spend, things like that. So we have to retune the mindset.
So you have a group name for your group? Is there a name for your group? That all the friend circle
No particular name from the group, but of course some other group they have their own names. Yeah. The
Okay.
popular one like Auto Detailer Studio, the Red Crew, the Horizon Team. Malaysia a lot, really a lot. I think easily more than 50 groups. So that's why on Saturday, Sunday you see KL or Genting Island full of supercar, sports car everywhere.
Wow. Cool. Because I mean, a lot of rich people there, huh? Yeah.
Thailand also say, actually I went to Thailand in December 2023. They have a very big gathering of supercar there. I went there to
Yes.
see.
Yeah. Cool. Mr. Low, we had a really fantastic conversation. Before we close this conversation, you have any final message to the audience about Malaysia? Welcome, Malaysian rubber industry. Yeah.
So of course we hope the Malaysian rubber industry can continue to strive through the investment and through the adoption of IR 4.0. And hopefully you can see all the rubber industry players on the 26th to 28th of August 2025 at KL Convention Center for the IRISE exhibition. Yeah. Thank you for having me, Mr.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Low. It's a really wonderful conversation. A lot of learning. Very useful. Very useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parham, for time.
Guys, that's the session with Mr. Low. And you can see we talked about many things. We talked about Saiko rubber. If you're looking for a custom rubber mixing, if you need any custom compound, you can always contact Mr. Low for your custom compound requirement. And if you want to associate with the Malaysian rubber industry, want to invest or you want to buy the products from Malaysia, he is the person to contact. He is the vice president of the Malaysian Rubber Products Manufacturer Association. And finally, he is also chairman of the Malaysian Rubber Expo, or IRICE 2025. So he invites you all to visit Kuala Lumpur at KLCC or KL Convention Center during third week of August. So you make sure that visiting this exhibition, participating exhibition, and also the conference, so it's going to be a great event, and I'm going to be there, and I'm looking forward to see some of you there as well. Yeah. So that's all for now. Thank you all for joining, for listening to this this conversation with Mr. Low. I'm really hoping that you find this session useful to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.